When I was in grad school, I had an amazing opportunity, and this is back in the mid 90s, and specifically I worked in the Department of Psychiatry. A couple of my primary roles were I supported the psychiatrists in their research, and I also wrote grant proposals for them to help get the school funding. I worked for psychiatrists who had specialties. One of them was a geriatric psychiatrist, and at the time, about 30 years ago, I was in my 20s. And I remember this geriatric psychiatrist. He was so very kind. And I remember him opening my eyes at my young age to make me understand and realize, at least to the level that I could at that age, that being older can bring this great gravity and depression. Many of his patients who were older, of course, were being treated for depression. This latter phase of life can bring such heaviness because it is a period of not only reflection, but then looking forward to a shorter, what I like to call a runway, a shorter period in our lives where I'm questioning, well, what is it now that, for example, if you had children, the children are off and they're living their own lives, and especially if they live in another geographic region. If you have never had children, you wonder, well, where is my purpose? As well as considering what were the goals that that person set forward, and did they in fact achieve them, and now questioning whether those are still in fact the goals that they want to achieve. Another psychiatrist that I worked for was an adolescent psychiatrist. It was perfect timing because my own siblings were young teens at that time, and they were going through so many changes. I myself, being in grad school, ended up getting a master's in education. Let's circle back to geriatric psychiatry for a moment and make a connection between that and the use of GLP-1 medications. I came across an incredible study from a very reputable source. It is the American Journal for Geriatric Psychiatry, and this study looked at GLP-1 medications in the geriatric population and specifically looked at the impact on depression. In summary, the findings are very promising. The study was conducted on over 2,000 participants, and it was randomized with a placebo, so the results can be fairly trusted. In short, the finding was that GLP-1 medications were improving or therefore decreasing depression in this aged population. I want to underscore that although these findings are incredibly promising, this doesn't mean that this will be the case for all people. While that study is incredible news, there are people who are experiencing an increase in depression. I'm a former educational therapist and currently an ADHD coach. My question to you is, how are you feeling? And I would love to know in the comments, if you're on a GLP-1 medication, what are you observing in yourself? In the meantime, if you're interested in exploring coaching with me, you can go to my Stan store, and for only $1, we can have an introductory session. I can help you understand what some of the potential benefits could be with coaching. And as always, I would love to hear how you are doing.